Myriam, you've got us a sexy piece of phone here. This is the Nokia, I'm sorry, the Lumia 640.
Lumia 640 from Microsoft Devices. I know it's taken me a while to get used to it. And so, you know, here it is. It's a phone for Cricket Wireless here in the US. It's beautiful as usual. So let me explain a little bit here why this is a big deal. It was announced at Mobile World Congress. And for the price, it was kind of unbelievable spec-wise.
Right.
It's $129 on Cricket, contract-free, and that buys you a Snapdragon 400, 5-inch 720p high-quality IPS, and a high-quality 8-megapixel autofocus camera.
This is really blurring the lines between sort of the cheap feature phone and the smartphone. It's no longer less expensive to get yourself a burner for, you know, $100.
Pretty much. I mean, this would make a phenomenal backup phone in your glove box if you roll that way. Say if you have a G4 or an iPhone or something. And so it's the second Microsoft branded phone. The first was the 535, which looked very similar in terms of specs, but in terms of like the quality of the display and the camera was quite a bit lower end. Right. And so this is, I mean, pretty unbeatable for the price. Let me walk you through a little bit of it. I have it here. So this is basically a 5-inch 720p panel. It's IPS, as you can see. Beautiful blacks, beautiful colors. Really, really nice display for 720p. And then in the back, there's this beautiful cover. I don't know if you can see. It's a double shot, so it's got kind of like translucent edges.
Oh, so this is not a case. That's actually part of the phone.
This is part of the phone. It's actually, you can pop this back and buy different colors. Right? Like,
ooh, okay.
So they get a removable battery. You got a SIM slot. You get a micro SD card slot. But this.
What bands does this have?
So this is for Cricket. It's LTE, right? What I like about this phone is that, you know, even though it's a mid-range, you're pretty much getting a full-blown smartphone experience, as long as you feel you can work with Windows Phone, of course.
Right, exactly.
And so I took some pictures. I don't know if, Brian, you can show them. When I was traveling to Iceland, I took this phone with me. This is an 8-megapixel camera.
Not bad at
it has HDR. Go through some of these photos. You can see this is low light. This is their sunset at midnight in Iceland. And you can see, like, look at that. I mean, that's really impressive. Keep going.
This is HDR now, right?
Some of them are, but some of them aren't. And keep going. There's daylight photos.
I'm seeing a little bit of a blue shift, but that just might be the sky.
This is not HDR.
Oh.
Believe it or not. And the next one is. Not that one. The one half, that's the geyser. But the next one, this is HDR.
That's beautiful.
Look at that. I mean, it's pretty impressive for pretty much a kind of an entry-level phone.
But I mean, Lumia phones have been known to have nice cameras.
They have, and what I'm saying is that this kind of like summarizes all of these years of experience that Nokia brought to Microsoft with the Lumia imaging chops and puts them in a phone that costs $129.
So it's snappy, it takes nice pictures. What did they have to leave out to get down to that price point?
8 gigabytes of built-in storage. There is micro SD, so you pretty much need to buy a micro SD card from the get-go. You're not going to go very far. Even apps are going to fill up that 8 gigabytes really fast. Lately, most Windows phones from Microsoft and others, they've pulled out the dedicated double-stage camera key that used to be part of the specs for Windows phones, but it's been removed starting with, I think, the 630 was the first one to drop it. You know, considering how good the camera is, it's a bit disappointing that they had to remove that, but it's a cost thing, I presume.
Right. You can't map one of the other buttons to trigger the shutter?
No, I don't think so. So it's on screen, tap on screen only. The other thing, it's pretty thin. You know, it's really rugged. I don't know if you can see, but there's lots of fingerprints on this right now. But I actually had a pretty nasty scratch in this area, and I was able just to polish it off.
I can't even tell you how to scratch.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the nice things about a fully polycarbonate-based phone, right? It comes in red, white, black, yellow, green, I believe, the different cases available. You know, I mean, as I said, in terms of specs, this has pretty much everything you'd expect from everything you'd expect from a mid-range phone. It's very similar to like a Moto G, I guess, in terms of specs. But honestly, I think the camera certainly beats the Moto G. And then, you know, it's got a front-facing camera that's half decent. I mean, it's not a selfie-optimized phone. But, you know, there's not too much to say. But it's nice to see one of these Lumias finally make it in the US on a US carrier. Like the larger version of this phone, the 640 XL, has a bigger screen and a slightly better camera, and it's coming to AT&T. That was announced this week. But until now, when we were at Mobile World Congress, we had no idea if these phones would come to the US. So it's nice to see them coming here and at this price point.
Break it down for me. So great price point, $130.
Yep.
What are the pros and the cons?
So the pros is you're getting pretty much a full smartphone experience and very few compromises. Unlike the 535 before last year, which had a kind of meh display, a meh camera, you're getting a good display, a good camera, you're getting everything. You know, a Snapdragon 400 quad core is a really great processor. 1 gig of RAM, also no compromise. You can play the Windows Phone games without any problems. So what you lose though is, you know, they did cut the corners a little bit in storage. You have to buy a micro SD card. Thankfully, it has a slot for that, but 8 gigs is just not going to cut it.
And give me your verdict. Buy, try, or don't buy?
I think it's definitely a buy. Right now, it's only available on Cricket, so it kind of limits your choices. But if you are, you know, on a budget and you're looking for an LTE-capable phone that has all the, you know, all the trimmings, I mean, contract-free, $129, you can't go wrong.
There you go.
That's it.
There you have it. It is a buy for the Lumia 640 from Microsoft, from our very own Myriam Joire. Myriam, of course, we can find you here on Before You Buy pretty much every week. We find you on All About Android. You're a recurring guest. Where else can they find your work if they want to find what you're doing?
I'm on Twitter, on G+, on Facebook, on my own blog. The search term is Tankerl without the vowels, at TNKGRL on Twitter, and tnkgrl.com is my blog. And that's basically where you can find me.
It's always a pleasure, absolute pleasure to have you on.
much.
And if you're looking for a burner phone, maybe this is going to be it.